Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to Puyallup Hobby Hut. I'm Brian, and tonight we've got something a little different for you. Get ready to dim the lights, grab some popcorn, and gather around because it's time for a spooky story. This one's perfect for a dark and stormy night, especially if you're around 13 years old or older. Are you ready? Let's dive in. This is called The Whispering Woods. Our story begins in a small, quiet town surrounded by dense forests. It was a place where everyone knew each other and nothing much ever happened. But there was one thing that everyone in town knew to avoid: the Whispering Woods. The Whispering Woods got its name because on certain nights, people claimed they could hear faint whispers coming from the trees. No one knew what caused the whispers, but everyone agreed it was best to stay away. One crisp autumn evening, three friends, Mia, Jake, and Sam, decided they would test their courage. They had heard the stories about the woods, but they didn't believe in ghosts or curses. So they made a pact to enter the Whispering Woods and spend an hour there, just to prove it was all nonsense. As the sun set, the three friends met at the edge of the forest. Armed with flashlights and their phones, they took a deep breath and stepped into the darkness. The forest was eerily quiet, with only the crunching of leaves underfoot breaking the silence. They walked deeper into the woods, laughing nervously and trying to ignore the growing sense of unease. After a while, they reached a small clearing and decided to sit and wait. Mia checked her watch. "Just 1 hour," she said. "We can do this." Minutes ticked by, and the forest remained still. But then, faintly at first, they began to hear it, a soft, almost imperceptible whispering. It seemed to come from all around them, growing louder and more distinct with each passing second. "Do you hear that?" Jake whispered, his eyes wide with fear. "It's just the wind," Sam said, though his voice wavered. But Mia wasn't so sure. She strained to listen, and the whispers seemed to form words. "Turn back. Leave now." Suddenly, the whispering stopped, replaced by an eerie silence. The friends stood frozen, too scared to move. Then out of the darkness, a figure emerged. It was a woman, her face pale and her eyes hollow. She wore a tattered dress and seemed to glide rather than walk. "Who are you?" Mia stammered. The woman raised a bony finger to her lips. "Shh," she whispered. "You shouldn't have come here." Jake took a step back. "Let's get out of here," he said, his voice shaking. They turned to run, but the woman reached out and grabbed Mia's arm with an icy grip. "You can't leave," she hissed. "Not until you've heard our story." As if compelled by an unseen force, the friends found themselves unable to move. The woman began to speak, her voice like the rustling of leaves. She told them of a time long ago when the forest was home to a small village. The villagers lived in peace until one day a stranger arrived, bringing with him a terrible curse. The village was consumed by darkness, and the people were trapped as restless spirits, doomed to wander the woods for eternity. "We seek revenge," the woman said, her eyes burning with a cold fire, "and you have trespassed on our land." With a final chilling whisper, the woman released Mia, and the friends found themselves able to move again. They didn't waste a second. They ran as fast as they could, the whispers chasing them all the way back to the edge of the forest. Breathless and terrified, they vowed never to return to the Whispering Woods. From that day on, they always heeded the warnings of the townspeople, knowing that some stories were more than just legends. And so, if you ever find yourself near a dark forest on a quiet night, remember the story of the Whispering Woods and the whispers that beckon from the shadows. Sometimes it's best to leave well enough alone. Thanks for joining me on this eerie tale. If you enjoyed the story, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss any future spooky stories or other fun content. And remember, always listen to the whispers in the woods. They might just be trying to tell you something. Until next time, sleep tight and don't let the ghost bite. Sleep tight and don't let the ghost bite.